Audience feedback was very important when making creative decisions in my production. It not only helps your production to become more aesthetically pleasing, but it also helps relate your piece to the target audience, as the feedback I did receive was mostly from my target audience. Getting the right audience to watch and analyse my production was key. If I had shown my video to young children and asked what they thought worked well or not, wouldn't have been a good idea, as their own ideas for improvements would have satisfied their own taste and not the taste of my actual target audience. Audience research wasn't just helpful when entering the process and planning stage of my production. It helped direct me in the right way when carrying out my research. I created and sent an online survey to people of many ages on Facebook. From this stage, so early on, it helped me narrow down creative choices I had to make within my production, and it also guided me on what my audiences wanted to see. The benefit of using an online survey creator is that they collect and report the results back to you in a fashion which is easy to analyse and understand. The site created pie charts, bar charts and percentages for me to read. This helped me understand what audiences preferred certain things one way and certain things another. I found out that the majority of people aged over 15 preferred music videos with an emotional or social meaning behind it, whereas the younger age group preferred a less meaningful video, more focused on the artist themselves. Although my primary target audience research was helpful in the fact that it steered me in the right direction when beginning my production, the feedback I received of my classmates and teachers was vital. The classmates were, essentially, my target audience, young, educated adults, interested in popular culture. This format of feedback was most helpful. The first piece of feedback I received was about the panning shots I had in my video. It was of the fields. Both peers and teachers questioned why I decided to capture these shots and how they related to the meaning behind the video. After receiving this feedback, I made the creative decision to delete those shots entirely, even though I did have reasoning for them, being, I felt that they were a metaphor for the loneliness women can feel. I understood that the message wasn't presented in a strong enough way for my audience to grasp and understand. Replacing these shots with more natural, candid shots worked much better and connected more with my audience. Another part of the feedback I received was about the actors miming to the lyrics. The majority of the miming was considered perfectly in sync, but there were one or two shots that I needed to reshoot because it made the video look amateur and unpolished. Following this, I had to get in touch with the specific actors and meet them in the same location. I requested them to wear the same outfits and style themselves in the same fashion. This was to make sure the video was consistent with its mise-en-scène. At first, the font I chose for the title was an issue. Neither my peers or teachers liked it and said I needed a much more formal font and needed to enlarge it. This is because I began my production on iMovie, limiting the range of fonts I could have. After transferring the video to the Final Cut Pro, the options were much more varied. I chose a serif-style font, resulting in continuous use of this throughout both my ancillaries. In conclusion, I have learnt a lot through audience feedback. Most importantly, I have learnt that, although making your production to your own taste is important, what is more important is making and changing the production to satisfy the taste of the target audience, as they are, essentially, the people who will be investing in your product and the artist.